grandparents from the old country, that sort of thing, would know about this, but you know, a lot of you younger people, you don't. I didn't know anything about this stuff. We didn't do this sort of stuff growing up. We didn't really use a lot of herbs. I mean, when I was growing up, you know, you had a spice rack that your parents got when they were married. Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com. It's early in the morning before anyone's awake, and I'm out here dealing with some of my harvested herbs. There's lots of different ways to store herbs, and the simplest way is, you know, to dry them. And some herbs come off the stems very easily, okay, and some don't. Like this this sage really doesn't. You roll it in your hands. It's not too bad. You know, for the most of the you know, you just put it between your hands like this. It's a good thing to get kids to do. And most of the leaves come off. There's a little bit left over, right? But other things like this winter savory, when you rub it between your fingers like that, a good number of the leaves come off. But also, what else comes off is little sticks, little just tiny, teeny tiny sticks. Okay. So, like I got a few here. Not the end of the world, but here, I'll show you. All right, you get these little tiny, little sort of twiggy-like sticks, right? And, you know, depending on what you're cooking, it's not too pleasant to be chewing on those. Now, a solution, so when you have all your dried herbs, you just put them in a, you know, I always have 2 coffee grinders. One for coffee and another one for just grinding up spices and herbs and stuff like that. So when you got your saved stuff like this, you just run it through the coffee grinder, and then all those little twigs just break up. And if you're throwing that in the soup and it's going to simmer for an hour or more, they're going to be, you know, you're not going to know they're there, okay? The big twigs, you've got to get those out, but the little teeny, really skinny ones like that, like the ones I showed you, right? You know, that sort of thing will grind up in a coffee grinder and you won't really know it's there. So that's one way to deal with it. Another way to deal with the herbs, especially ones like that have a lot of little twigs and sticks, is to, in a sense, not deal with them at all. So you get some butcher's twine, right? And I like to do this over the bowl because lots of pieces are going to fall off while I'm dealing with this. But you grab a bunch of them. Okay. And try to organize them so that they're, you know, reasonably together. You can fold them back upon themselves. Make a little bundle, an herb bundle. All right. Get all the little twigs in there. Scrunch it up a bit so some of the little pieces are going to fall in with your, you know, herbs. And what's in here I would just put in a jar. This is really dry. It's been, you know, drying in my gardening shed, you know, with a bit of airflow for, oh, I don't know, a month probably, right? So there's still lots of flavor here because I haven't crushed the leaves too much. Anyway, this thing here, you just, I mean, anyone that's grew up with, you know, grandparents from the old country, that sort of thing, would know about this. But you know, a lot of you younger people, you don't. I didn't know anything about this stuff. We didn't do this sort of stuff growing up. We didn't really use a lot of herbs. I mean, when I was growing up, you know, you had a spice rack that your parents got when they were married, and they'd use like a 1/4 teaspoon once in a while. Like those spices would last the entire marriage. Right? Anyway, so you know, this is just, what's this called? Butcher's twine. This is what you'd use for tying up roasts and stuff like that. It's just cotton, right? So you tie it up like that, and you stick it in a brown paper bag, right? And put that somewhere near where you prepare your food. And when you're going to make a soup, you just throw one of those bundles in the soup. Or even some of these I'll just put them in a bowl. If I know I'm going to be making pasta, I'll throw a handful of those in the pasta water. Bring that to a boil, and you'll notice the pasta water changes color, turns kind of green a little bit. Then put the then fish those out using a slot spoon or some sort of wire cage. And now you've flavored the pasta water with all that herby goodness. Cook the pasta in that, and you get the flavor of that. You can even take some of that water and put it in a soup or a stew, right? Because it's got all that flavor in it. Anyway, just different ways. So I mean, that's what I'm doing this morning. And so I got a pile here of these are all the stems that I got these herbs from. There's still a lot of flavor in these stems. So I'll bundle these up too in larger bundles, but I'll bundle these up too and use them for making soups because there's all kinds of flavor still in these. There's no point making. You want to make a bundle of this maybe 3 times the size of one of the other bundles because you removed a lot of leaves. But any one of these, there's still, a good amount of leaves on them, right? So, you grew them. Why waste them, right? So yeah, just some other ways to deal with herbs. Usually when you go on a lot of these, flashy, blogs or websites, when they talk about storing herbs, they're putting it in like a jar of olive oil. You're not going to get a lot of herbs in there with the oil. And if you don't do it right, it can get kind of nasty in there. All the herbs have to be completely submerged all the time. If there's any stuff sort of above the surface, mold and stuff that can gather on it. Sure, that's one way to do it, but if you've got a lot of herbs, like, I harvest all my herbs and I stick them on a thing like this to dry them. And over the course of a growing season, I do that about 3 times. So I'm not going to be storing all that in olive oil, right? You dry your herbs. That's how you preserve herbs if you're going to get a lot of them. And if you've got a good number of perennial herbs growing in your garden, you really don't need to buy them unless there's something specific you're after, or you have something fail. Like my basil failed this year, so I just bought some dried basil, right? But other than that, I really don't have to buy too many herbs. I pretty much have what I want. Anyway, just some thoughts on preserving herbs. There's not a lot of content out there on that sort of thing, so I thought people might find that helpful. If you've got an overabundance of them and winter's coming and you haven't harvested them yet, harvest them, put them somewhere where they can dry out, and store them. Use them in the winter. Hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com, and until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.